Welcome to an interview with Jeff Claus, the winner of the PGA South Africa National Management Award for 2020. The award process from nomination to motivation to voting by the membership is concluded with your fellow members identifying you as the worthy winner. The PGA membership acknowledged 5 PGA members in the categories of management, club professional, coach, grow golf, and entrepreneur, with one of the 5 to be announced as the PGA Professional of the Year for 2020 at the PGA Annual Award ceremony that will take place on the 16th of November, 2020. Jeff, thanks for making yourself available for the Zoom interview, and congratulations on winning your award.
Thanks, Ivana. It means a lot to me. Really does.
So I've got a few questions here for you, Jeff. You've won several PGA awards over the past 2 decades, and winning an award in this year full of uncertainties with the COVID-19 pandemic and global crisis, how is that special, and what can you tell us about your strategy and approach to COVID-19?
Wow. I think it might be the most special award of all, if you think about it, because I've certainly dedicated my life to my members and my peers. And speaking of peers, I guess it probably means the most to me because you're elected by your peers. But we've come out of a really tough time, shutting golf courses down, shutting golf estates down. And when you shut a golf estate down, sometimes the people think they're in a different world. They're living in a different place than the rest, and it's not. Golf is golf. And this particular award this year, I think, means so much more because, hell, it's been a hard working year. It really has. My team and I have really spent hours and hours and hours with scenario planning, how to open up again, how to do it correctly, how to attract people to us, how to get our members back on board. So, yeah, I think this particular award this year probably means the most of anything since '95.
So in line with that, I mean, what have you learned about yourself this year, and what was the one thing that surprised you the most?
Well, I learned that I'm not the Tin Man. I certainly have a heart. I've always looked at myself as a cheerleader. I think that I've always been successful in this business because I love hospitality. I just think that it's based on golf, which makes it even better. But this COVID thing, it's not gone by any means. I mean, look at America; it's going crazy again in Europe. But I had a lot of personalities take me on during this period, and I had to make the hard decision to keep the high road and not cross the lines with anything. And yeah, I took a few shots over the bow. So I guess the thing I learned the most is that while I'm still a very compassionate person, and I don't like confrontation. I really had to dig my heels in a few times and just say, this is what it is, and this will pass. And fortunately for us, it has in a roaring way. So
I think the biggest challenge through COVID was the golfer wanting to play golf. Everyone was unhappy with the government and what they were doing, and the golfer just forced that onto the golf facility all the time. So, well done for keeping in line with what we were trying to do.
It's funny. I grew up in a little town in Iowa, Ivana, and everybody played golf. The farmer played golf. The butcher played golf. The barber played golf. I mean, Vince Phillips was the most positive guy I ever knew in my life. If he could reach the green, he thought he could hold it. And when you come to South Africa, obviously it's price restrictive. I don't think it's elitist by nature. I think it's somewhat golf is just expensive when you do the exchange rates, and golf might be its own worst enemy. I mean, I grew up with cut down clubs and Sam Snead Juniors and Patty Berg cut down ladies and stuff. But here, this particular period, I think we were up against something that was bigger than golf. I think there was a perception that if we opened golf, we were actually doing one of these elitist things. And it couldn't be farther from the truth. I mean, what we saw when we reopened golf here was health. We saw as soon as we could let people out of their houses, they were walking their dogs. The kids were playing. They went from 3 days a week to 5 days a week. They went from one day. They took up the game, and they hadn't taken it up before. So, COVID in many ways tested us mentally and physically, but it also made us rethink our lives and think about our choices. And frankly, what I've seen here in St. Francis, I guess we're better than most where we are. But geez, the people have come out of this almost stronger than they ever were before.
No, I think it was one of our consistent messages to government was you need healthy people to go, to regrow our economy. And golf is exactly that. It creates healthy, mentally stable people. So, and that's exactly what a lot of effort went into, and a lot of people have played the game. So moving on to the next question, Jeff, I mean, what or who inspired you over the years to keep growing and always give your best?
Well, I think the people I serve inspire me the most. I had great mentors. I'm still very close with my PGA professionals that I worked under. I stay very close to Charlie Epps, who was a legend, an innovator at Houston Country Club. But I'm inspired by the people that I look after. I totally believe that when you come to St. Francis Links, you're coming because it's your quality time. You might be coming for business or a wedding or a lunch or whatever, but it's still your quality time, and it's up to me to make sure that I look after you the best I can, so that your experience here is memorable. And so I'm motivated, inspired by the people I meet. Just this morning, I had a member in my office who wanted to ask me a question about a format. He was hell-bent that he was going to change my mind on something, and I already had. The discussion lasted about 15 seconds. I said, I agree with you wholeheartedly. We're going to do that.
Excellent. The purpose of the PGA is touching lives to the game of golf. How do you, through your work, touch lives to the game of golf?
Yeah, well, I think the slogan itself is brilliant, because that's exactly what we do. I mean, I make a point of trying to meet all the people who come here, to work the room if you like, to meet them at halfway or meet them before they tee off. They might even just be here for coffee. So I make a point of walking through the clubhouse a number of times through the day. But it's about quality time. Again, I say it. Golf is just a great conduit for allowing us to really inspire others, and we can do it so easily. We do it by just giving a little. It's hospitality.
So what motivates you every day?
I think the fact that I'm going to meet somebody new, the fact that every day is different, just like this golf course, never plays the same way twice. I always start my day by looking at the tee sheet and seeing who's coming, or what groups are in, or who's upstairs. We're in a state, a community, so I make it a point on Mondays to drive the entire state, look at the building that's going on. I generally meet people on the way when I do that. So yeah, for me to get up in the morning, it's a pretty easy deal. It's a pretty easy deal. I like touching lives.
So what can every current and aspiring PGA member learn from you?
I think that they've got to take this maybe a little more seriously than what I see a little bit in today's guy. I mean, I've got people that work for me. I take nothing away from them. Where life, as I said, is more of a balance. It's family time, it's quality time. In my particular case, family time often came second because of the time that I had to spend doing what I do here. And I regret that. But at the same time, I'd like to inspire others to say, embrace it all. I started by working on golf carts. I started by loading bags. I started by printing names on signs for carts in my handwriting, so they felt special. But I'm also now very involved with marketing. I'm very involved with finance. I'm very involved with the entire estate. So I really believe that you don't walk into this business at this level. You walk into this business at this level, and if you haven't gone to that level, you better go back and get there, so that you can relate to the people that are working with you in all areas. So I guess my advice to the ones who want to be a professional, and I would say it too to the graduates when I get a chance to see them again, you've got an opportunity now to set yourself apart. There are basics. You've got to be a good player. You've got to be a good teacher. I still think you've got to be the best rules official in your club. I mean, I don't need a member coming and telling me what the rule is. I need to be on my game. But I also think you need to be abreast with current affairs, because if you're going to engage with people in our business, you need to read the paper. You need to turn on your apps in the morning and check the news and check the sports and check the economy, and because you never know when that person who's standing in front of you is going to challenge you with a question, and if you've got a half decent answer, then he's going to spend more time with you. and you're going to spend more time with him and learn a lot more as well.
You're a seasoned professional, Jeff. I mean, what are your thoughts on the future of the golf industry?
Well, we better seize it right now. I mean, this is it. This is our golden opportunity. I mean, we're sitting here in a world today where social distancing is going to be that way for, I think, a long time to come. I think we better get used to wearing a mask wherever we go and doing it right. I mean, I'm not trying to single out anybody in particular, but I mean, the Asians were dealt with disease pandemics before, and you don't see anybody walking without a mask when it's a situation. So I think there's certain things that are going to change. But I think going forward with golf, I mean, what better sport is there? I mean, it's clean air, it's open air. It's a game you can never beat. I mean, I've reached a point in my life where if I hit a good drive, make a long putt, throw a ball out of the bunker nicely and curve a ball out of trouble, I'm happy. God knows I'm going to be in trouble. I'm a club professional.
So in line with everything that you shared, I mean, the final question to you is, if you could do one thing that would forever leave your mark on the golf industry, what would it be?
I think I've lived this life honestly. I think I'm consistent in what I do. I think, you know, if I go forward, if I had any kind of legacy at all, I had a laugh with Tinas the other day when we got to talking about where would you be if you left it. I said, well, just pay attention. It's not that hard. You know, look after people. As I say, be the best you can be. And you know what? There's no computer, there's no app, there's no artificial intelligence that's going to replace what we can give. And there was no greater feeling I had growing up in this business. And when a member put his arm around me and said, this is my pro.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Jeff. It's been a pleasure interviewing you, as always, and providing some insight into how you live the PGA purpose of touching lives through the game of golf. I look forward to the annual awards ceremony on the 16th November 2020 and the announcement of the PGA Professional of the Year for 2020. Stay safe, stay healthy, travel safely up to Joburg for the awards, and we'll see you then.
Give me a word. Ivana, I want to thank you personally for what you do for us. You and your team, you've grown this PGA that we live in and that we're associated with. I'm proud to be a member of the PGA of South Africa, and I'm proud of the work that you and the others do for us as well. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Greatly appreciated. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Thanks, Ivana.